Alright, welcome back to Dishonored Part 3. And right now we're just sitting in Piero's workshop. I promised that we were going to check out some of these books, so let's go ahead and read them. Whale Oil Processing. Excerpt from the founder of the Greaves Whale House by Ebenezer Greaves. Out at sea, they secure the beast with hooks, with lines cast from the main ship and from several smaller boats. Buoys keep the whale from diving deep. Once it's caught, the larger hook is driven through the tail, which is used to hoist the creature up through the chute. They moan and bellow for some time as the men get them onto deck, then lift them into the scaffolding overhead. The ship adjusts its prow and returns to port in Dunwall, where the crew works on the great creature, slicing off the fattiest parts while it still lives. And if you guys recall from the beginning, you actually saw some of those boats out on the water, and it was in the very beginning of the game. I don't know if you can see them out here now, actually. No, I don't think so. Oh well. Let's see what else we got. Whale Vivisection. Excerpt from the notes of a natural philosopher aboard a whaling ship. Remarkably, each specimen I had the pleasure of studying during the voyage possessed some minor variance in physiology. On the second leg of the trip, east of Tivia, the crew hauled aboard a female, some 42 feet in length. Is that feet or? Yeah, I think it's feet. In length, I estimate she weighed 35 tons, and the ship sat low, rocking side to side through the night with her thrashing. By candlelight, I took her apart, sketching and taking notes. Against her bellowing, I cut into the mass of tentacles around her mouth. Within, I found row upon row of teeth and a baleen running along the upper jaw. Through this broom-like structure, I assumed she filtered food from the water that was too small to be chewed. So they're taking apart these whales and they're actually documenting what they're finding, which is pretty interesting, actually. Let's see what else we got. Whale oil refilling station. Sokolov no longer has the upper hand with regard to supplies of whale oil. The good admiral has paid for the installation of my own system, which will enable me to work in this place. The oil tank dispenser, when activated, will produce an empty vessel for filling. When the empty tank is held near the oil tank refill pump, the magnetic attractor should take the tank and lock it in correct configuration. Using the lever, it will begin the refilling process. Once refilling is completed, the tank can be removed and placed in service. Extreme caution must be used in handling the full tanks. They are quite unstable. The system is sound and well engineered. It appears that the Greaves Oil Company has done something correctly for once. And that's talking about these little stations over here, so you can actually just dispense a tank, take it, and then fill it up. Oh, missed that. Let's see what else we got here. Dead counter responsibilities. Commissioned by the Lord Regent in the face of the growing plague crisis, the dead counter is a position that will only be given to officers, usually of junior or middle grades. In most matters of edict or curfew enforcement, these officers will defer to the acting officer on duty. However, any dead counter will have command in situations related to the plague and the handling of the dead, including those with late-stage plague symptoms called weepers in common parlance. Starting in the month of rain, interested officers may apply for the test and, if accepted, for the 2-week training tour. Pay will be administered in coin and rations of elixir at 1 1/2 normal pay grade. So they basically have these guys that go out and oversee just situations that deal with weepers and plague victims. Failed experiments. Excerpt from a series of lectures on natural philosophy by Piero Joplin. Of course, I have attempted to improve upon Sokolov's designs. Of course, and why not? After all, it is likely that his thinking was influenced in some small way by our time together at the Academy. We are all a part of a community striving to unknot the mysteries of the cosmos. Even those among us who possess the greatest minds are often led to a fruitful line of consideration by, how does one say, our intellectual subordinates. Sokolov is no exception to this, despite the glamour of genius he has cast over the aristocracy. And further, it is true that many of my experiments have failed. No need to gossip about it behind the back of in your social clubs and in the very chambers of the academy itself. Great ambition requires risks. You may laugh now at my door to nowhere, but someday you will not. Your children will likely see it as commonly as you see the electric lamps lighting our streets at night. But a few short years ago, you would have laughed at Sokolov's arc pylon or wall of light. Your laughter, your condescending smiles, they are nothing but evidence of your own limited imagination. It's pretty good writing there, Piero. Oh, let's see what this is.
The Academy teaches that absurd idea that the energy in whale oil arises from the need to maintain life functions at extreme ocean depths. The pressure and the cold are too much to endure without it. I speculate that a human being might, by a process of adaptation, produce high-energy humors in the body. I could build a tank that would slowly increase pressure on a subject over a long period of time and then observe them for years if need be to see if the formulation of energetic substances develop. Surely the Empress would be able to furnish me with facilities subject to the necessary legal amnesty.
So I think he was saying that if people were put at low depths like the whales are, then we too might be able to, to be able to create sort of what the whale oil is inside the whales. We might be able to produce the same effect, but not necessarily like whale oil. But we would produce something. That's what he's insinuating, I suppose. I already read that one actually. So. Yep. Oh yeah, that's right. I gotta go to sleep. But first, let's look around. Oh, delicious, all of it. Thank you.
River traffic is forbidden from landing in the distillery district.
And this little hub world, actually, I just call it a hub world, is actually pretty large. There's a number of places to explore. Let's see what we got. Anything back there? Nope. Ooh, another book. Harpooner songs. Oh, this is the song that's like yeah, it's like the song that if you've ever seen the trailers and like the TV spot and stuff like that, it has that song in there. I forget how it goes, but it's a classic. Oh, gee, I forget how many books are in this place. Tibia. Alright. Shadow on Bitterleaf. Excerpt from a longer work of fiction. Finding my way by the feeble light of the dying fire, I saw her working. A large needle moved in her hand, following precise, esoteric patterns, knots and loops of seamstress craft from ancient days. Beneath her needle, his body clenched and shuddered, shaking the wooden table. A morbid fascination pushed me closer, until she turned her blank face toward me, resting the needle in his flesh. With a refined tone, she addressed me. So you are the lover, I presume. You too have been unfaithful, and it is now your time, or is now your turn to be mended. Bruh. Alright. Maybe I'll come back and read those books. I don't know. I'm not going to read every single book that I see, though, just because I know that some of them are pretty long. But I just want to explore this place. Because I know some of them are just works of fiction, and I'm not really interested in those. But I do like ones that kind of like provide a bit of backstory to the world that I'm in. Admiralty and the Fleet. Let's check this one. Excerpt from a book on naval history. While each of the isles has some form of naval fleet, none is more envied than that of Bristol, with its long, proud history of great ships and the admirals who command them. Boys come of age in the cities of Bristol, hoping to someday captain such a ship, and family dynasties are made by those captains who track down infamous pirates or crush seditious uprisings, as during the Morley insurrection. In times of war and peace, Bristol continues to innovate at sea. The ship designs of Anton Sokolov himself now represent the highest standard in the whaling trade, allowing crews to haul their kill up over the deck and begin their butchery and processing even as the ship returns to Dunwall. The crews can be seen working on their latest whale as the ship moves slowly up the Wrenhaven River. coming to dock with one of the powerful warehouse companies, such as the Greaves Whaling House, suspended in the rigging overhead and backlit by the setting sun. The silhouette of one of these creatures makes a moving sight as it cruises to its final resting place in the industrial heart of the capital city. Oh, let's listen to this.
Log entry 1-4. It seems we've moved to a new phase. Martin's improvisations have borne fruit. The former bodyguard has been freed and is en route to the staging location. Pendleton's voting block and my military connections. All we've lacked is the ability to project lethal force in a controlled manner against a previously inaccessible... to the point, we need a man who can kill the bastards for us. Corvo is more than capable of that, I have no doubt. N-bomb. Is this off? Switch. Switch me to hell with it.
Alright. I wanna... Ooh. Yeah, I'll take that. And then a Gaffer's Tale, what is that? Volume 2, yeah. I think I'm gonna leave the works of fiction alone. And I think that's enough searching around. I'm just gonna go to bed. I'll explore. Oh, I'll explore tomorrow. Oh, what? Hello.
My, you must be Corvo. I am Lydia, at your service. Your room is upstairs and ready. When
you
they
mean
told
on this
me who
floor?
it was, well, I thought you'd be older, like the owl.
Thank you. Just leaving money in my room? That's what I'm talking about. Oh. Yeah. I'll go to sleep now. Until tomorrow, my sweet prince. Oh. I really enjoy the Void. It's a really nice place to
Hello, Corvo.
visit.
Your life has taken a turn, has it not? The Empress is dead. Her precious daughter Emily is lost somewhere in the city, and you will play a pivotal role in the days to come. For this, I have chosen you and drawn you into the Void. I am the outsider, and this is my mark. There are forces in the world and beyond the world. Great forces that we call magic. And now, these forces will serve your will. Use this newfound power. My gift to you. Come find me.
Alright, so this is our first power that we're given, and we don't even have to do anything for it. They just give it to us. Power blink. Press L2 to execute a fast and stealthy forward dash through the world. You can also use it to move upward, but the distance is reduced. Aiming at ledges will allow you to blink forward and climb up. Hold L2 to target your destination with precision. A blue sphere indicates that you should reach your destination. A blue arrow indicates that you will climb up when you reach your destination. So yeah, like the hint was saying, you can just hold it and you can aim wherever you want, and it's a lot more effective than just kind of hitting L2. Yeah, I already know what that note says, so I'm not even gonna bother picking it up. But yeah, blinking is a lot of fun in this game. Emily's letter. Corvo, I am very sad. They say that you're dead like mother, but I'm going to put this note in a bottle and throw it into the river because I do not believe them. Living here is very strange. I do not like it, so please come for me if you can. Cool. Sorry if you guys hear like background noise. It's just my roommate. It's a pretty interesting looking map. So there's Dunwall at the that's where we are right now, and it's at the southern tip of Bristol. And down here, I believe, is Serkonos, which is another isle, and it's the southernmost isle that they have, or that they've established a society in, I suppose. Ooh. Thank you. Oh crap, no. Jeez. I always get scared on that part.
In the days that follow, your trials will be great, Corvo. Seek the ancient runes bearing my mark in the lonely places of your world, and at shrines raised in my name. These runes will grant you powers beyond those of other men. To help you find these runes, I give you this, the heart of a living thing, molded by my hands. With this heart, you will hear many secrets, and it will guide you toward my runes, no matter how they may be hidden. Listen to the heart now, and find another rune.
Alright. There we go. So, the heart. Equipping the heart in your left hand helps you locate bone charms or runes even through walls. The heart beats and lights up when you are facing a bone charm or rune, and it beats faster as you get closer. The heart will whisper secrets if you press L2 while targeting a person or location. And it's got some pretty interesting stuff to say about most people anyway. I mean, just regular NPCs, it's not really that interesting, and based on the locations, like it was saying, it has different things to tell.
This place is the end of all things, and the beginning.
It does eventually just loop around, but yeah, there's usually about 4 or 5 things the heart has to say about a person or a location. Actually, I usually fall like straight down that hole, but I'm gonna walk around here and see what's around to explore. Oh, alright. Thank you. Drink one of those. I think I could jump from that one, but I'm already here, so. Runes and acquiring powers. Once you've collected some runes, open the journal and go to the powers section to exchange them for powers. Runes can be collected and used to acquire supernatural. Oh god. to acquire supernatural powers. Alright. And right now we can only get dark vision and vitality. I think I'm gonna hold off on the rune spending just for now and wait till I get another one actually, or maybe just a few more, because the route I usually upgrade blink. No, I usually get dark vision first and then I do blink, just because I like finding things in the environment. So I'm just gonna hold off for now.
How you use what I have given you falls upon you, as it has to the others before you. And now I return you to your world, but know that I will be watching with great interest.
Yep, and I apologize again if you guys can hear a bunch of noise in the background. Yep, already read that. Alright. Ooh. Oh yeah, that's another thing about hold on. Okay. Yeah, and because I have the definitive edition, it came with the Void Walker's Arsenal pack, I believe it's called. So I can just pick up all these bone charms, and it teaches you about it. Bone charms provide small supernatural benefits. Locate them by listening for the song they emit. By default, you can activate up to 3 bone charms at once in the bone charm section of the journal. And because I have the Void Walker's Arsenal pack, I believe all these statues give you more slots to equip bone charms. Because I think even if you have all the upgrades, I think you can only equip 6 at a time by the end of the game. So, the Journal of Granny Rat. I wasn't expecting to find this here. Hold on. Excerpt from the ramblings of a street denizen. Of course I'll tell you, dearie. I won't keep any secrets from you in the end. All the dreary days of my life are like the windows of a house. From the kitchen, I can see out into the garden where the leaves and stalks are brown and bug-eaten. You can see a little lump of dirt where something has wrapped in a blanket and laid to rest along the rows of twisting vines. The front room looks out into the street where the neighbors are all setting fire to their homes, barricading themselves inside, warm and snug, dearie. Don't forget about the bedroom either. It sees into the dreary alley where hooligans are playing a game with an old man. The first 2 are hitting him with sticks, and the girl with them is kicking at his dry old ribs. Oh, to have those bones, to boil them in a pot. No one lives in my house anymore, dearie. Sorry. No one you'd want to meet. When I lived there with my husband, we were fine people. Vera More. Everyone would say your house is as grand as the Boyle Manor. Better even. Your dinners are lavish, and your parties are the best. When that young Sokolov came to paint my portrait, I was nearly still in my prime. Radiant, he said, and he was just barely a man, so young, painting all the best people across the land. Everyone wanted a portrait by his hand, all my friends. I was the only one, dearie, wet with his paint glistening on the canvas for a pretty coin. But it wasn't all parties and paintings. My husband and I weren't always at home, no. We traveled together, he and I, to the far ends of the Isles, beyond even, all the way to the red cliffs of Pandyssia, to dig in the rock and crawl through the caves, holding up candles and squinting at the walls. Many precious things we came upon, but none so precious as the boy with the black eyes, dearie. All those marks and bones carved so deep and polished so bright. I brought the old bones home, hid them from my dear husband. Then I learned to boil them and carve them myself. They made such good presents, dearie. The little mute boy took them home. He loved them so. All the time he came back with new bones for me, holding them up so I could see it in his eyes, even though his tongue was still. Granny, his eyes would say to me, carve these bones for me, make me another present, and he went so far, all the way to Dunwall Tower, the royal headsman himself now, a little mute boy and his shiny, shiny sword. Better bones were what I needed, you see, better bones to carve and polish, scrape and gleam. My dear old husband was always tired. I made him soup, and then he was sick. Better bones was all. For my little mute boy, carved in the name of the one with black eyes, and after my husband was gone, given away as birthday gifts. I didn't want to live there anymore. So now I'm old, and don't have any to give my presents to. It's sifting through the garbage for granny rags, and feeding the little birdies that gather at my feet. No one wants to have tea, dearie, especially those rude louts on Bottle Street, Slackjaw and his boys, always meddling with an old woman just trying to make her way. In the end, we'll be together with him, you and me in the dreary night with stars above and below, and always the one with the black eyes, dearie. So, just to let you guys know, I've never read that before, and it was really interesting. Like, I didn't know that Granny Rags went all the way to Pandyssia, if that's true. I didn't know she went all the way to Pandyssia, like, because she met the outsider, but I didn't know she went to Pandyssia. Holy crap. Let's pick up these bone charms, and I'll just see what they have to offer. Yeah, I'm just going to pick up everything here. Wow, where did all these books come from? Okay. Yeah, I've read this one before, actually. That's a long one. Let me see. Not sure about that one actually. And then early life and criminal part. I think I've seen this one, but I don't remember much of it. So let's have a look at these bone charms. Raven, drop assassination gives you a bit of health. Let's see what else we got. Enemies miss more often with arrows and bolts. Swim speed increased slightly. That could be useful. Moderate keyhole peeping magnification. I don't see that as too useful. Breaking glass sound is moderately reduced. That could be useful. You know what? I got 7 slots, so let's put that one on for now. Breathe capacity in water slightly increased. Win sword versus sword contests more frequently. Let's go ahead and put that one on. Shot whiskey bottles explode with greater intensity. Gutter feast, white rats can be consumed for mana. Void channel powers effects slightly improved. I could use that. And white rats won't attack you. So I guess some that I can just put on. I can put on river affinity, keyhole magnification. You know, I'm gonna wait and just see what else. I mean, I could just equip all of those, but I don't really feel like it. And I don't know why actually. I just don't want to equip all of them. So yeah, now I have now I got the blink power. And there's actually, hold on, let me rearrange some stuff here so it's to my liking. Oops, there's actually a rune way out there, so I'm gonna go grab it and then yeah, probably end this episode. Go, because I know there's fish in this river. Oh yeah, there's one right there. Alright. Play your way powers. The powers you obtain from runes can be used creatively to defeat enemies or move through the environment. Blink from roof to roof, possess rats and fish, or slow time before rushing a group of enemies. Alright. So I'm just gonna get back to shore really quick here. Hopefully I don't get chewed on by some fish. Oh no, go. Oh, what am I getting stuck on? There we go. Alright, well, gotta go talk to Admiral Havlog, but I'll probably do that in the next episode, so till then you guys take care, and if you want to see more, just make sure to subscribe. I'll be uploading these pretty soon.